This is probably, I think, the biggest problem facing young men today, and it's watching pornography. Now, myself as a young man, I've had gone through the phase of watching porn. Like, I think I've been exposed to it when I was like 12, like grade 7, like primary school, not that much, grade 7, yeah. Like it's bad, like it's messed up that children, even younger than 12, are being exposed to this hyper stimuli. So, in order to combat this, it took me, I think, 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years to actually conquer this. Like I've been clean for about, truly, like 2 months, 3 months. Like, I've done it for like 5 or 6 months because it was during grade 12 when we had our external exam. So I was like, fuck this, I'm fully focused. No sexual gratification, like any of that crap. Just straight on the work, and then it got me like I'm among the top 5% of students. So like maybe that's a tip or advice for you academics still in high school is not jacking off. But I had to find it through a YouTuber, Hamza. He doesn't make many noFap videos, noFap, like fapping, jacking off, like not jacking off. He makes not so many videos about it because he can't relate to it because he hasn't jacked off for a long time. And also, he has a golden point, which I took into consideration. The golden point of not jacking off is to not count the days. Don't count the days. Don't count the days when you haven't jacked off, because that means you do care about not jacking off. And also, it's a matter of identity, which is another piece of advice for stopping watching porn. You have to look at yourself as someone who doesn't watch porn. Again, the best scenario or the best example we can give is being an alcoholic. Like, think of someone who used to be is an alcoholic but wants to quit. So he goes to the party, someone offers him a drink, but he goes, no, I'm trying not to drink. That's his words is a reflection of how he thinks of himself. I'm trying not to drink. Trying. That means some part of him still drinks. It's just simply he's abstaining for now. Instead, what you should say is, he should have said is, sorry, no, I'm not a drinker. Which is exactly what I do at parties, because I don't drink. Like, I choose not to drink until either I'm a millionaire or until I'm ready. It has to be a special occasion, but I always say, I'm not a drinker. I'm not a drinker. And with pornography, like jacking off is a whole nother beast in itself. Like, if you can't go without jacking off, at least try and go without pornography. Like, pornography is probably the biggest problem to tackle first, compared to just going cold turkey on both things. Like that's what I did. I went cold turkey on both habits, because it's a habit. You've been developing this for at least 5 years as a kid. Or if you're like 20 or 25, you've been doing it for a decade at least. So don't go hard on yourself for relapsing, but simply adopt the identity of, I don't jack off, which I have, and I've been clean for a good couple of months. And then the other method is deleting social media. Because personally for myself, I know, I think I knew my habit. Like, I'd go on Instagram, go on the For You page, like literally, I swear, with men's For You pages, like Explore page, it's full of just half-naked women. Like, there's genuinely posts with like women half naked, not like in bikinis, like genuinely naked, like genuine pornography. Like, social media has become the new pornography. Like, like using a business terminology, it's like a funnel. Like Instagram, then it goes to like Instagram, then porn up, or Instagram, OnlyFans, porn up. Because for myself, I knew, like, I go on Instagram, see a model, check out her profile picture, because I knew if she posted a scandalous picture, or like an account posted scandalous pictures, they would post more scandalous pictures. So then I go down the rabbit hole, then I find the name, of the model, and then I look it up online. Like, I look up OnlyFans and check if they do have an OnlyFans, and if they do, then I go leaks. Like, I'd be doing like that Kanye West stuff of just not paying for it, but still looking at the leaks. And then guess what? After that, like, because I was going through the phase of, I know I need to not jack off and like not pornography, but then I just go onto the hub, and then, you know the atypical behavior. You're trying to find that perfect video to just release to, and you spend like half an hour trying to find it, and then eventually you relapse, and then you feel like absolute crap, like post nut clarity. Like that's the worst feeling in the world. Like when I relapse, I sometimes realize, what the hell am I doing? Like, I know it's bad, I know this feeling is terrible for me, so why do I keep doing it? The thing with watching pornography and then jacking off is the pleasure just builds up. As soon as you relapse, it's a cliff. It immediately goes down. There is no relapse, you keep going up. No, it's immediately downhill from there, my friend. So you have to decide whether you value not wanting to experience that pain again or the pleasure. Do you value the pleasure or the pain? Because if you value the pain, you will not go with pleasure. And also, it's a confidence thing. That's why I think it's a problem with young men, because they're watching more naked women than any other man has in history. And then when they get preconditioned in the mind to look at other females, real life women in real life, as just simply objects of self-gratification. They can't stop thinking about the porn scenarios, about the unrealistic scenarios, like the fantasies, like they can't stop thinking about it. It's rather like, what it is it saps your energy away from your purpose and from your work. Like, that's why I stopped doing it when I was in grade 12, because like, stopped doing it in grade 12, relapsed like the start of, after like 2 weeks after January, relapsed, and then stopped doing it for then. Yeah, I stopped doing it for like a good couple of months in grade 12 in 2022, was because I knew I needed to get my work done. Like, passing those exams and getting the highest results was my number one priority at the time, not my own self-gratification. And that's powerful, because that's discipline. That's also working towards a higher idea, a higher power of going, I'd rather feel the pain now and get the reward rather than be rewarded and then be given the pain later. That's the whole point of delayed gratification. That is simply like the whole embodiment of self-improvement, is delaying your gratification, is wanting something later rather than something now. Yeah, and then also like, I poured in that energy into cello playing, because I started playing cello in grade 4 and it only got serious in grade 11 and 12. In grade 12, again, like, I wasn't watching porn or jacking off, so I just practiced my cello like more than usual, like 3 times a week. Because before I just practiced the night before orchestra and just somehow like be able to just play it. Like, geez, like that's bad. That's like bad practice. So delete social media, because that will suck you into the hole of jacking off. And then also it's a mindset thing, because I know a friend of mine, he says the dosage is the poison, which I think, sure, it does sound good on paper, but in terms of pornography, like alcohol, is it not better to just cut it out entirely? Like, you will reap more benefits by just cutting it out of your life altogether. Like, wouldn't it be better and more meaningful to actually, have a relationship with a woman, like a meaningful relationship, satisfy your sexual desires through an actual real woman, rather than like pixels on a screen? Like, if you think about it objectively, though, that pornography is just pixels on a screen. Like, if you zoom in long enough, you'll just see colors, like red, green, and blue dots, blue light. That's it. That's what you're jacking off to. And it's just so interesting, because like, it's not the same with eating. When you're hungry and you watch someone else eat, you don't get satisfied from it. But with pornography, you do. So it's just so unique. So other tips for not jacking off is be obsessed about something. Find a purpose you can obsess about, and it just takes away all the energy away. Because also there's a concept in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill about sexual energy transmutation. Like, sexual energy is the most powerful energy you can transmute it into your work, because we're biologically animals, and what's our purpose? To reproduce and continue the race, the human race. So that energy, rather than allocating it to offspring and then the sexual gratification, you put it into your work. Like, I think that's why I'm also having such a big charge rather than feeling lazy, because my days of watching pornography and jacking off, I just feel lazy. I'll feel like I don't want to do anything, like I'm unmotivated. But now with this pent-up energy, you just want to give it to the world, to your work, rather than fucking through your sexual body part. Like, that's what is telling me is a big problem with young men, is because rather than achieving stuff, they'd rather pleasure themselves. Rather than going on a big adventure, they'd rather stay at home and jack off to pixels on a screen. Again, back to mindset, it's also, you have to think it's wrong. Well, does that advice even work? Because I know myself, I knew it was wrong, but I still did it. Because again, the pleasure outweighed the pain. Now, for any atheist, it's going to sound like stupid advice, but for any people who actually believe in fear in God, it's also thinking God is always watching. God is always watching. He knows. Like, even if you do it by yourself in a home alone, you may know it, your family may not know it, your friends may not know it, but God knows. And He's disappointed. So that's sort of the kind of mentality you have to go with it. It's like, be the better man. Just be the better, like, it's also thinking about delayed gratification, thinking about the future. It's like, when you're marrying your wife, her father, does he want to see an unmotivated, undesirable man who would rather gratify himself to other women rather than through his own daughter or through his own wife? Wait. Rather than gratifying his wife, who is your daughter, the father. Hopefully that doesn't make sense. I know I'm Tasmanian, but hopefully that makes sense. Like, you want to become a worthy enough man for the woman of your dreams. And jacking off, watching pornography, that will hinder your progress towards that goal. So stop, delete social media, change your identity, think of yourself as, I do not jack off, I do not watch porn. What else? It's very hard trying to recount. Be the better man, God is always watching. Obsess over a higher purpose, obsess over something that will take more energy, take your sexual energy, and just be more productive. Like gym's perfect example. Take that. Because literally in 2021, when I was going through my first No Nut November, that's when I started doing push-ups. That's when I started actually building a physique. It's because rather than putting that energy into jacking off and pleasure, I put it in my own body through working out. So that's my advice. It's all about energy, and just change your identity and obsess about something you deeply care about that isn't just gratifying yourself. So I hope that helps.